Today we took a trip with a friend to the ancient town of Hanjiang to see if it lives up to its reputation for fun. It's midday, yet the streets are surprisingly empty. And it's Saturday, traditionally a bustling day. But in this ancient town, there are not many tourists here.
In recent days, a travel influencer on the Chinese social media platform Xiaohongshu took their friend to Hanjiang ancient town for a photo op. From the video footage, even on a Saturday, the streets are noticeably empty. Hanjiang Sichuan ancient town, situated in the heart of Sichuan County, Shanxi Province, lies along the banks of Hanjiang Yanshui Lake and Lotus Lake, marking it as a significant birthplace of Chinese civilization. But this ancient cultural town was not always so deserted. In the video, we witness a stark contrast. Once bustling with visitors, the streets now remain quiet, lacking the usual lively atmosphere. Comparing these two videos, we can observe that the current visitor flow in Hanjiang ancient town is far less than it was a few years ago. Does this signify a decline in tourism activity? Searching for other ancient towns, we discover a similar situation, such as in Lijiang ancient town. The video's creator exclaimed, "During the May Day holiday, our catering industry made ample preparations, fearing that people would struggle to find food and drink, but what was the result?"
Lijiang ancient town at 12 o'clock, already deserted. Did everyone run off to Harbin?
Lijiang, situated in the northwest of Yunnan Province, is a well-known tourist destination in Yunnan Province. Lijiang ancient town began to take shape during the Southern Song dynasty and has a history of 800 to 900 years. But with the passage of time, it seems that the allure of Lijiang ancient town has diminished, with fewer visitors than before. In fact, many inns and shops in Lijiang ancient town are now up for transfer. Some tenants have expressed that the rent for any random shop in the ancient town is in the tens of thousands. With goods not selling particularly well, it's uncertain how much they will need to sell to cover the rent. Similarly, the famous tourist attraction Jiangnan ancient town, once a key construction project with a 7.5 billion RMB or $1 billion investment, faces the same issue with visitor flow. Jiangnan ancient town is a 5A grade standard scenic spot created by Yankuang Donghua Cultural Tourism Investment Company Limited in Hunan Province. It integrates tourism, residence, shopping, business, entertainment, and leisure functions, boasting rich historical and cultural heritage and unique architecture. But from the video, we can see that the ancient town is now deserted, with shops and hotels closed and construction debris strewn about, essentially becoming a ghost town. A guest house owner from Dali posted a video.
This year's May Day ended in a very dire state. None of my fellow colleagues are without lament. Today is May 4th, and the occupancy rate is only 40%. Both prices and occupancy rates are very bleak. Although the tourism market seems crowded, the output is very minimal.
Despite the increasing desolation of ancient towns, there's a surge in crowds at many free attractions, indicating a growing trend of budget travel. A video demonstrates a free attraction in Beijing packed with people, creating a spectacular scene. Another video showcases a free scenic area in Anhui where the crowds are overwhelming. Similarly, the Zhanqiao Bridge in Qingdao is teeming with people, seemingly reaching a point where normal walking becomes difficult. According to Chinese media, just before the 5-day May Day holiday, the prices of domestic airline tickets were dropping, while railway and car travel were having a significant increase. This indicates that consumers are very conscious of reducing expenses in the current economic situation. More travelers are opting to drive rather than fly, or they're booking in advance to save costs. Why is this trend emerging? Firstly, people are finding that the experience of spending money on travel in China is becoming increasingly unsatisfactory. Reports indicate that just 2 days into the May Day holiday, tourists encountered various issues during their travels, some of which were severe and even life-threatening. On May 2nd, people posted videos claiming that due to the chaotic management at the Baochun tourist resort in Xinxiang, Henan Province, there weren't enough buses provided for visitors. This resulted in tens of thousands of tourists being stranded for long periods without adequate food or assistance. In one video, a large number of tourists were seen stuck in the scenic area. Another video showed tourists walking downhill overnight in a massive crowd, with so many people that it was impossible to see the end. Many tourists had to trek down the mountain for over 10 kilometers on foot. Furthermore, some enraged tourists shouted slogans like "Refund, refund." Some angry tourists even vandalized the ticket office equipment, while others, hungry and frustrated, raided a warehouse for food supplies. In response to the situation, Baochun Tourist Resort issued an apology statement that same night. They stated that on May 2nd, visitors who didn't use shuttle buses and left the park on foot could revisit Baochun for free on any day in 2024 by presenting their ticket stubs. But the public was not satisfied with this response. Many questioned the resort's management, criticizing their inability to control the number of visitors. Comments flooded social media expressing skepticism with sentiments like, "No sincerity, we're all travelers from far away, who would come back just for a free ticket?" Preparations were inadequate, what's the use of apologizing afterwards? Refund, we don't accept apologies, chaotic management, tourists trapped, with no staff in sight. I advise everyone not to go, blacklist Baochun Resort. Those who haven't gone yet, hurry up and get a refund. On the same day, the management center of Hengshan Scenic Spot in Datong City, Shanxi Province, reported an incident. At around 3:05 p.m., there was a rockfall at the Tiger Wind Gate of Hengshan Scenic Area, injuring 6 tourists, one of whom died due to severe injuries despite rescue efforts. A tourist informed Chinese media that he descended around 4 p.m. and heard that the injured tourists hadn't reached the mountaintop, where they were hit by falling rocks. He also mentioned that 2 ambulances were heading up the mountain, and several injured individuals were carried down. Apart from safety incidents, numerous tourists also found themselves cheated during the holiday period. Sichuan tourism, this is the best you can offer us? In a video, a young woman and her companions went on a trip to Sichuan and were shocked to find over 5 skewers on 1 chicken claw, a popular snack called chuan chuan xiang. Typically, vendors charge based on the number of skewers when settling the bill. Generally, the number of skewers for each item doesn't exceed 2. Therefore, it's hard not to think that the vendor is blatantly cheating customers. Another person reported that the rafting project at a certain scenic area was a ripoff. They spent half the day floating on the water, but it was impossible to enjoy because the area was so small, resulting in a waste of time. Furthermore, a Chinese blogger posted a video claiming that on May 1st, they found a spicy strip assassin at a childhood-themed snack shop in Suzhou. The price tag on the spicy strip read 17 cents RMB or 2 cents in US dollars. It was seemingly cheap, but it was priced using gram as the unit. So the real price was 170 RMB or $23.50 per kilogram, making it an extremely exorbitant spicy strip. People also commented on this, saying there's no business that won't cheat. The second reason why ancient cultural towns are becoming increasingly deserted is that CCP's party culture is eroding people's aesthetic judgment. With the rampant development of Douyin in China, more and more middle-aged people, young people, and even children are accustomed to using Douyin as the standard. They follow Douyin bloggers' way of speaking, dressing, and even preferences. Douyin also employs special algorithms to make personalized recommendations to each user. Dr. Zheng Chu is a former NASA engineer and current professor of data science at Feitian College. He explains that personalized recommendations analyze user data to identify potential personal preferences and recommend products that are most likely to attract the user. It's an interactive process. If the user accepts the recommended content, it indicates that the recommendation is correct and will be intensified thereafter. As a result, the past viral sensation in the city of Zibo to this year's rise to the top of the stream in Harbin, they all rely on the flow of social platforms, almost all on Douyin and other platforms, to attract a large number of tourists. This phenomenon of traffic dividends has also attracted attention nationwide. Tourism bureaus in various provinces and cities desperately promote themselves on social platforms, hoping to become the next lucky city favored by traffic. Consequently, in contrast to these internet celebrity cities, culturally rich towns like the Hanjiang Ancient Town, Lijiang Ancient Town, and Jiangnan Ancient Town are becoming less and less popular. It can be foreseen that this kind of traffic gained through Douyin is easy come, easy go. The Secretary General of the Strategy and Public Research Institute of Taiwan, Wu Jianzhong, pointed out in an interview with Voice of America that the unpredictability of traffic creates an equal playing field, allowing small cities like Zibo to compete with Harbin. But the marketing frenzy that has swept across China has begun to sour. At this point, the focus of promotion is no longer on the highlights of urban tourism, but has turned into sensationalist hype aimed at attracting attention. Wu further pointed out, that social platforms should ideally introduce the local scenery or promote special attractions through local artists, but it has now turned into something else. What we see now in China is a phenomenon of involution or internal competition. As time goes by, the only way to please the public is through vulgar or attention-grabbing methods. Therefore, some analysts believe that in the future, there may be one internet celebrity city popping up after another. After the hype fades, apart from boosting local government consumption through eating, drinking, and entertainment, it won't provide people with the deeper meaning of exploring traditional culture and other travel experiences. Over time, as people chase popularity and trendiness, they will increasingly lose their own judgment and aesthetic sense. Another reason is that whether they are students or office workers, government's control over people is becoming increasingly strict. As the May Day International Labor Day holiday approached in China, several universities suddenly issued notices, claiming to ensure the safety and stability of their students. They thereby strictly prohibit university students from organizing their own group outings. Among them, Lanzhong Jiaotong University issued a notice on April 25th, stating that the school strictly prohibits students from organizing car rentals, group travel, or long-distance cycling trips on their own. Similar notices were also issued by Jiangsu College of Engineering and Technology, Central South University School of Public Administration, and others. Chengdu University of Technology even required students to obtain leave from their class advisors before going out or returning home. Furthermore, some universities require students to stay on campus during the May Day holiday. Lanzhou Polytechnic College, on April 23rd, posted a notice on ensuring the safety and stability of students before and after the May Day holiday. It says that no organization or individual is allowed to organize collective student outings, participate in commercial celebrations, performances, or other activities. It is also advocated for students to engage in outdoor sports activities on campus in a small and dispersed manner. Although Xi'an University of Science and Technology did not prohibit students from traveling in groups, it strictly stipulated that they must return to campus before 10 o'clock in the evening and are not allowed to stay overnight outside. Students also need to apply in advance to the college and can only proceed after approval. Peking University, Anhui Polytechnic University, Chongqing University of Technology, and others require students to travel with family and friends to avoid going out or meeting with strangers. This news quickly became a hot topic, sparking discussions among netizens. Many criticized universities for being too controlling and limiting the personal freedom of university students. Some sarcastically commented, "It seems like we're back in the era of COVID-19 control measures." A netizen named Subsilence3 said, "I suggest everyone stay in the cabin hospitals and undergo PCR testing every hour." Others questioned, "Back in my time, students would organize trips themselves, or individuals would travel on their own. Wasn't it supposed to be safer now? Now it's too restrictive. We can't take any risks. Should we just do nothing?" But some people have analyzed that the strict control by the CCP is due to the worsening of the Chinese economy, the soaring unemployment rate, and the difficulty of university graduates in finding jobs. Therefore, these tens of millions of university students have become a concern for the CCP authorities. As for the strict prohibition of university students off campus, it is because the CCP authorities fear that the students will organize protests against the CCP government, leading to another blank paper movement causing social unrest. The blank paper movement commemorated the Urumqi fire in Xinjiang on November 26, 2022, at Nanjing University of Media, and it spread to a nationwide large-scale protest against the zero-COVID policy. During the protests, students openly shouted slogans such as "Down with the Chinese Communist Party" and "Down with Xi Jinping." This caused panic among CCP officials. In addition to students, office workers also deeply affected by government control, one of the recent focal points being flexible holidays. Flexible holidays means moving a specific public holiday to another time. For example, after the Qingming holiday in April and the May Day holiday, under Making Up for the Holidays mode, several consecutive weekends have become single-day holidays, with 3 consecutive 6-day weeks before and after the May Day holiday period. In other words, China's May Day small vacation is from May 1st to May 5th, seemingly having a continuous break of 5 days, but in fact, 4 of the days were make-up days for weekends not taken from before, therefore resulting in effectively only 1 day off. This practice has sparked lively discussions among Weibo users. Video blogger and Weibo influencer Jingli Six Treasures said, "If you don't really want to increase statutory holidays, then please don't forcibly create false prosperity with a 5-day-long holiday. If you really need people to go out and spend money more generously, give them a few more days off instead of being stingy every day." Some analysts have found that the CCP government's introduction of flexible holidays is not just about exploiting office workers, it also has an important purpose of stimulating demand for outbound travel to boost consumption. Peng Han, chief analyst at Travel Daily, also stated in an interview with Chinese media that public opinion on the implementation of flexible holidays is significant. At its root, the making up for holidays mode does not increase the total amount of everyone's vacation time, it simply shifts the day off around, requiring the public to repay after enjoying the holidays by making up the missed workdays. The direction of this mode is obvious. It's not about letting the public truly rest, but rather about concentrating holidays to facilitate boosting consumer spending. Therefore, it's understandable why the public has strong opinions about it. Public records show that the May Day International Labor Day can be traced back to 1890. It was commemorating the large-scale protests demanding the establishment of an 8-hour workday, which later evolved into an international holiday. But today's International Labor Day has become a gimmick for the CCP government. Nevertheless, despite this, experts believe that reality may not align with the authorities' expectations. Economic scholar and director of the Institute of Information and Strategic Studies, Li Hengqing, analyzed this in an interview with Radio Free Asia. He said that the confidence of Chinese consumers during this May Day holiday still needs to be assessed. He believes that it's okay for everyone to take a break and relax a bit, but it's hard to say whether they will truly have the mood for consumption when traveling. Currently, there's no sign of that. Similar to the past, most trips are short-distance travels, with day trips being the majority, and not many people are staying overnight outside. Frank Xie, a professor of business at the University of South Carolina, Aiken, believes that the real estate market is precarious and the stock market is sluggish, leading to continued lack of confidence among Chinese consumers in the economic outlook. He thinks that relying solely on long holidays to boost consumption is not very effective. Frank Xie stated that the biggest problem in the Chinese economy is the lack of consumer confidence and the pessimistic attitude toward the economic outlook. Therefore, stimulating consumption by promoting flexible holidays is unlikely to have much impact. Chinese youth Yang Peng observed that his friends have changed their ways of traveling during the pandemic. For example, instead of spending money on accommodations during short vacations, simply buy a tent and go camping outdoors with their families. Another example is self-driving trips, where they leave early and return late without the need for accommodations or other expenses, which can be called travel in special forces style. Yang Peng believes that as the economy continues to decline and people's incomes decrease, there will be a reduction in spending on leisure activities. With shrinking wallets and declining travel experiences, more and more Chinese people may reduce the frequency of their travels, even during holidays.